Hey guys, it's Isaiah. So, I've been thinking and thought I would do a video on being transgender and my journey so far. Um, I'll throw back a while to when I was in kindergarten. I always knew that I was different. I definitely knew I was not like all the other girls. I didn't wear dresses, I didn't wear pink, I didn't wear, girly things or anything like that. I always wore, boys' clothes. I hung out with the boys. Um, I acted like a boy. I wanted to be a boy, but I didn't know that at the time. As I got older a little bit, I remember in second grade, I told a girl that I wanted to be a boy, that I had a penis. And I never knew what transgender meant at the time. I never really put two and two together or anything like that. I never looked it up or because I was young at that time. Um, Once I reached seventh grade, that's when I really started thinking, and I had a friend who was a lesbian, and I thought, her and her wife now were the coolest people on earth, and I always wanted to be in a relationship like that. As the year went on, when I was in seventh grade, I struggled more and more with who I was. And I talked to my friend's wife now, and she helped me through a lot during that time. It was definitely hard because I didn't know who I was. I didn't know if I liked girls, if I liked guys, who I was. I didn't know anything. I was like clueless, and like it was so painful because I didn't know who I was. I was pretending to be someone I wasn't, and I knew that I wasn't who I was acting to be. So it was just hard. I remember coming home from school every day crying because I was lost. I mean, you're supposed to know who you are, aren't you? You know, your own body. And so, like, it was just so painful for me to pretend to be someone that I had no idea who I was. Um, as 7th grade passed, I started 8th grade. And 8th grade, I really started analyzing myself. I really started to look at, you know, I started looking up lesbian stuff and, like, I started out with gay, trying to find out what gay meant, lesbian, stuff like that, and researching that stuff. And I was like, wow, that kind of pertains to me a little bit. And I was like, I know who I am. And for a year, I hid who I was from my family. Most people at school knew, but my parents didn't. My, family didn't. Adults didn't know. As 8th grade flew by, I started 9th grade. And through these years, I struggled with depression because it was just so painful to hide who I was. It's awful to hide who you are. And know that you are different than everybody else, but not to know at the same time. As I started 9th grade, I definitely started sharing who I was more openly with friends. At first I was kind of like shy about it and like didn't really talk about it. But in 9th grade, I started opening up and like talking and started, whatever with that. Toward the end of 9th grade, it was like summer, I think, I announced on Facebook that I was gay. I definitely got a ton of positive support from my family, friends. It was definitely a great result of me coming out. I have to say I'm very, very lucky for the outcome that I had because some people don't have the luxury of having it as good as I did. People suffer from, being harassed at school, bullied by their parents because of it, you know, stuff like that. And I didn't have that. Like, everybody was just so supportive, and like, it was just great, you know. This year, I started 10th grade. I started to experience different feelings. Like, I wasn't gay, but I was more than that. In October of 2015, I was hospitalized for suicidal thoughts. It had to do with my dad kind of not accepting who I was at the time. And that was hard for me because I was always trying to please him, and I just never could. After I got out of the hospital, I learned a lot. I learned definitely a lot about myself, more than I knew about myself than I did before. When I was in the hospital, I learned that I cannot make everybody happy. I have to focus on myself. That is one thing that I learned. I have to focus on myself and make sure that I'm happy and put myself before anybody else. And that's what a lot of people don't know that they have to do. Like, sometimes you do have to set people aside and focus on yourself and make sure you're okay before others. After I got out of the hospital, a couple months later, I told my mom that I felt that I was a boy, that I felt I was born in the wrong body, that I'm not okay with being a female. She didn't really understand at first. Like, she was definitely supportive, but she just kind of didn't understand, like, how that could be, and, like, stuff like that. Like, she just didn't understand. She just wanted to know more about it, and, like, was, like, completely open to conversation about it, and I was too. 2 weeks after I told my mom about me wanting to transition, to be a male, I told my dad in a letter. I told him in the letter that this was not a choice, that this is who I am, and I want to be able to be the person that I want to be, and be the person who I was born to be. It was definitely a shock to him. He didn't really understand it. I don't think he still does, but that's okay. That's his problem, not mine. I've tried explaining it, and I've done what I could to make him more aware of what's going to happen. After that, like, I don't know, he's tried to understand, I guess, but not really at the same time. He has a hard time, like, trying to grasp that I'm not okay with my body, I guess. That he thinks that I'm going to ruin my body. And that's not the case. I'm going to fix my body. I'm going to make myself happy by doing this to my body. By doing this, I will be happy with who I am, when, as to before, as to coming out as gay, you know, before any of that, I was not okay with myself. I was upset, I was angry, I was depressed, you know. And nobody should feel that way about themselves. Nobody should have to fake who they are, or, and matter of fact, fake anything about themselves. As of today, my dad still doesn't really understand, but my mom, my family, and my friends are definitely so supportive of my, not really decision, because it's not a choice, but of my lifestyle. I definitely have a lot of support from the people that love me. And I'm very, very lucky to have that. May 2nd, I have my first endocrinologist appointment, so I'm really excited about that. It's just coming up, about a month away, so really excited about that. And I hope to be posting about that and my journey on starting tea and post-op, pre-op, all that good stuff. So yeah, I hope you guys are ready to come along on this journey with me. Thanks, guys. It's Isaiah.